Well, as they said at Hollywood, analyse that.
Frustrating game for me. You're a stats man. How much possession we had there, I have no idea. It felt like about 70% minimum. Frustrated at half time because I thought we should have been 2 or 3 up. But to be quite honest, the speed of play, we was predictable in certain areas of the pitch, and I couldn't see that improving until we stepped up the tempo, and that was the theme at half time, to come out and open them up a little bit, and to get people that should be influential a bit higher up the pitch. And the doors open a little bit later, and I think we scored 2 excellent goals. Excellent goals. You don't get much quality finishes for that in terms of technique.
Well, doors only open if you keep knocking, and that's what you had to keep doing today. They came doggedly to defend, didn't they? They looked like they just wanted a shutout. You
pinched my lines from half time. I said to the lads in there, I said, when your house gets burgled, people weigh it up first of all. That's what you're weighing. You're just weighing it up. But there's no entry in there. Start kicking a few doors down. And the attitude changed second half for a period. But having said that, they put us under the cosh a little bit. We got 1 or 2 nervous minutes. Wasn't quite sure whether that was handball for the fag ball. I was a bit disturbed at that decision, but you know, he was closer to me, so I've got to bow to his better judgment. But it was a bit of a nervy game. You know, I didn't know who was going to win that, and having us had 70% of the game, you know, it was a difficult one to assess. That's a game where I have to go away and really give it a bit more thought.
It is a hard one to analyse. One thing you can analyse quite easily, though, I think, is that winning goal. In commentary, we described Jordan Fagbola's cross as Beckham-like. I mean, to hit that with his left foot on the run was just terrific.
It's probably the best delivery we've had all season, and from a player that's, you know, not accustomed to that position, not accustomed to get into those areas that he got in. And it was a great ball in on his non-preferred foot. Great weight, great shape on it. But you still got to have the technique at the other end, and it was a great finish.
Yeah.
Fair play to Jordan, yeah.
You needed your strikers to step up today. Without Christian Dennis, you were always going to be struggling for goals, perhaps. And Scott Spencer, though, has filled in nicely there, hasn't he? With, I think, 4 in 5 now.
Yeah, he's confident now. I think he had, at the beginning of the season, he was trying to find the right pair, and Scott played his part in that. And then he's taken more of a lead role, and I think his confidence is high at the moment. I think he thinks he's going to score. If you know, if he gets a lucky break in and around the box, you know, you can see why we brought him into the club. He's got goals in him. He's good around the dressing room as well, and when things are a little bit down, he's the one that, you know, can tug a few bits on the pitch as well.
It's important to keep these runs going, isn't it? It's 6 wins out of 6 in the league at home, and it's 16 successive games where you've scored now, and it keeps you right in touching distance of the playoffs. I think you're a point outside with a game in hand, so you're right up there. So how important was it to win today, given those stats?
It was home games. If you asked me at the beginning of the season, I want to win all the home games, which we've done so far, barring Ferriby, and then try and get a return away from home. You know, if you can manage to do that through the course of the season, and the consistency, you get that sort of consistency, then you're going to be in the right position at the end of the year. I just think when we're here, we're a different animal. When we go away, we're very tentative. But today, it was an untidy win, because there was a lot of areas that we didn't get. Whilst we had a lot of possession, we wasn't fluent, we wasn't clinical, but we kept probing, and finally, you know, 2 good goals settled the game.
As you say, you know, you probably play better games and lose, won't you, at times this season? But winning ugly is often a landmark of a side that's going to do okay.
Yeah, winning ugly, I don't care how ugly it is. It's 3, but tomorrow morning's papers will say we won 2-1, and it's 3 points, and that's all I'm interested in.
In fairness, one of the issues you had today, of course, was your defence. I'm not sure that would have been the back four you'd want to play. I called them perhaps unfairly a makeshift back four. It's a bit unfair that to the players who were in there, but it's not a back four you would have chosen. So you must be pleased with the way they defended largely for that game today.
I think that's a fair description. It wasn't going to be my starting lineup. However, I'm talking about what going to be in start lineup from Thursday onwards, but off prior to Thursday, I should say. But a couple of injuries that we couldn't risk today, and it was in that defensive area. So makeshift it may have been. It wasn't. You know, I would have preferred to go with a 5 today, and really give them some, you know, a torrid time down the flanks. But weren't able to do it, so we had to come up with Plan B, and fortunately most of the lads delivered in that area.
So no Hurst, well he was on the bench but he obviously wasn't fit, no Todd, no Duxbury, no Gregson. Is the likelihood they'll all be back next week?
I honestly can't say. I thought on Thursday that Scott Duxbury was there or thereabouts, and he trained on Thursday, but then I had a reaction to it. Danny Gregson, I thought by giving him a rest on Thursday that he'd come through, and he's still feeling it. Danny Hurst has still got twinges, you know, a problem with a nerve in his leg there, so he's still feeling his kicking. So I don't know, 48 hours maybe the right amount of rest time. Matthew Todd, no chance. He's going to be a couple of weeks yet. But I am just a bit concerned that, you know, we're picking up all these knocks, and we've got to be careful what we do now. We've got to be really careful, because we were thin on the line today in terms of defensive cover, and just got to be careful.
And a quick word on your debutant today. You brought in Andy Owens in the week. I know he's been used mainly as a substitute at Barrow, but he was obviously keen to get his first start today, and you handed that to him. Yeah,
I thought Andy Owens did well today. It's difficult to come in, home game debut, bags of pressure on him, but I know him of old, and you know, he's gonna fill that spot admirably while he's here, especially with the state of the suspensions that we've got at this moment in time. So. You know, I'm glad that he's joined the club.
And next week, another home game. A win next week could potentially take you into the playoffs. It's an exciting position to be in.
No pressure, John. Yeah, it is an exciting position. I just want it to stay exciting right the way through the season. You know, the more we get to grips with things, and you know, again, you know, playing at home, it has a different edge. And when you keep winning at home, and when you keep scoring at home, it does breed the confidence. So you should, by rights, have a flyer in every game, every home game, and that's the mentality that I want to keep in the players, and try and deliver 3 points to the fans every week.
That's a big 3 points. Well done.